Yep, good. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to the Saturday program. Anyone new here for the first time? You too? Welcome. So today what we are going to discuss is about Sanga and Asat. That means good association and bad association. So on a daily, day-to-day basis, we do come across good people, bad people, good things, bad things, good book, bad book, so many duality in this world that is called Vanda. In Sanskrit, it says Vanda means duality. So it's always like two things, man and woman, good, bad, dark, white, so on and so on. So we'll cover a little bit more about this topic from the perception of Shastras. Okay, what Shastras say about it? Do we have examples, case studies to address these things, and how we can do better in our lives? So before that, a couple of psychologists did some study. By the way, I do my master's in psychology. If you hear my classes, most of the time I talk about psychology experiments. Please forgive me on that if you're not interested into that topic. It's interesting though, because sometimes, or most of the times, they discover things that has already been spoken in Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita, and they present it in a way that it's brand new. But that's okay. When Krishna sees that as a father seeing the child, and child telling something brand new, but father already knew about it. So it's okay. So Krishna said, all right, fine. But when scientists come and present these topics with some factual evidences, and people will be like, wow, that's great. I never know about it. But if they have read Shastras, then they will have known about it already. So anyway, this topic about measuring the mind, right? So it's interesting, you measure milk, water, grains, but how do you measure the mind? They wanted to do it. The purpose of the study is to establish some kind of, treatment, so that can be given to the people who are suffering from some bad habits or some conditioning, right? So for that purpose, they started the study, but they haven't fully into completion, but at least they've gone into some degree, completion. So it goes like this. So they call this as implicit association test. So it's still available in Harvard.edu. If you go in there, type implicit association test, it's still available. You can even do it. And it just asks you random questions, and when you answer them, and they give you a report, but the report actually, surprisingly, controversial to the answer that you initially gave to them before you began the test. I myself took the test, and I just wanted to see what it comes up as, and I was surprised. Yes, it is true Because we have this past experience, perception or conditioning from this life and previous lives, so many factors associated with our mind and body and whatnot. So when we do what we do, we always have these impressions coming from our past perception that make us do what we do, like our behavior or action, or even that becomes a character, whatever it is. It's all due to that reasoning. So when I took the test, it was about the color of the skin, whether I liked or inclined to favor more or like more on dark skin or light skin. Personally, whatever I like, it doesn't matter, but I wanted to know what the test tells me about what I like. So when I did it, I asked random question about the dark people and white people. It's not basically American or African, no. It's about even Asian white skin, Asian dark skin, that kind of questions we have. After finishing the test, I thought I like light skin, but when the report came out as I like more dark skin, but actually the truth is I like dark skin more. That's the truth. From subconsciously, I like that more. But when I answered it, I answered everything like I was as if I was liking more light skin. But the report came as no, actually you like dark skin. So that was a surprise, but it's a pleasant surprise because it's true. So that's one test, right? Implicit association test, and there is another one. They did law of association and law of repetition. What is that? Law of association is when you engage with something or someone, and repeatedly when you do that, what happens is you like it or don't like it, you make new impressions, so neurons, it's networking, wiring or rewiring or unwiring. You do all these things when you see new things or experience new things. Sometimes you want to keep going with the thing that you liked, and that makes you do what you do continuously. So when they did this experiment to a group of people, for the first 2 years, there was no change. So they did what they were doing already. There was no change at all. But all of a sudden, as if the door, opened for the flood, it just opened up the way that they reacted or they behaved or started to behave, everything like how they were doing with those factors in those 2 years. All of a sudden, there were new actioning coming from their behavior. So that was expected earlier, but then only it came like 2 years later. Why I'm talking about this? Because if we choose what we engage with on daily basis, that's association, right? So whether you choose who you are living with, and what sometimes you don't have a choice. If you are married already, so just live with who you have. But again, what you do with a person, again, make a choice, right? You can make a choice of what kind of books you can read. So we have so many shastras. Like if you read just simple Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavad Gita, that's more than enough. And even if you start off with Bhagavad Gita, that's 20, that's enough to start with. But books, and then again the food that we eat in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says about the food in mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. So that is Sattva Guna, Rajaguna, and Tamaguna. So three modes of material nature, always leading us, right? Unless we take shelter of Krishna, then that's a different story. Otherwise, we are conditioned, like how we have an air conditioner in this room, and we condition that air conditioner to a particular temperature. It keeps running it to that particular temperature. If you wanted to change it, then again it runs according to the temperature. Similarly, when you are in the mode of goodness, Sattva morning, usually it is said we are in Sattva, meaning you are in a good mood when you start off the day. And as you go, you become more passionate about what you do, you want to get things done, you become passionate about it, and that's Rajaguna. And in the evening, the same person can be in multiple modes, permutation, combination of these modes, right? Generally speaking, people will be normally mode of goodness in the morning, mode of passion in the afternoon, And in the evening, more of ignorance because you're tired from work or whatever it is, the day is past. Now all you wanted to do is just recover. Right? So that's mode of ignorance. So it's not that ignorance sometimes bad. You need to take rest, and that's important. So it's okay. But at the same time, if you are totally lazy and you are ignorant to get out of your comfort zone and seek out for the truth or absolute knowledge, then that's a different story again. So in Kali Yuga, in Srila Bhagavatam, first canto, they said, Prayena Alpashya Sabya, Kalo Ashmin Vivejanaha, Mandaha Sumanta Matayo, Mandabhagya Ubhatakaha. That means in Kali Yuga, people are short lived. So that means we only have short amount of time, right? Whether even if it is 100 years, which is still short amount of time we have compared to Satyuga, they live for 100,000 years, and Treta Yuga, they live for 10,000, and Dwapara, they live for 1,000, and now we just started just, shrinking and shrinking. Now all we got is 100 years. But these days, even 100 years is a bit stretchy. Who lives for 100 years? If someone lives for 100 years, then there will be big celebration and as such. These days, 50, 60, 70 max. Of course, we all wanted to live for long. One time, Hemaraj asked Yudhishthira Maharaj, what surprises you? He says, ahani bhutani gachanti yamalayam. Sheshaha param uchanti. And then, what was the last line? And yeah, Kim Acharyam Ataparam. This is Acharyam. This is surprising. What is surprising? Ahani bhutani. There's so many living entities are going to where? Yamalayam, Gachanti Yamalayam. They go to Yamalok. You know Yamalok? Yamaloka? So yeah, they don't have to explain that. So, but still, they have this desire, Ichanti. Sheshaha Svavar. They wanted to Sheshaha. They wanted to live here permanently. For that purpose, they make so many, arrangements. They want to make so many arrangements as if they're going to live here forever. What they do is they work hard, save money. For who? They don't have time to enjoy. Oh, for my son, I'm saving. And then what son does? Repeat the process. I'm saving for my child or children so they can be happy. And then he follows the same thing. He repeats the same thing. So who is actually enjoying? Nobody is enjoying. Who is happy in this material world? So Asasvatam. What is Ashasvatam? Dukhalayam Ashasvatam. What does Dukhalayam means? This material world, Bhagavan says in Bhagavad Gita, this material world, 8.15, chapter 8, 6.15, I think. This material world is full of miseries, dukkha. And alayam is like annalayam, uttahalayam, like that. It's dukhalayam, right? And ashasvatam is temporary. Mataji said temporary. It's not even permanent. So miseries are also not permanent, and happiness is also not permanent either. So it's all short-lived. But for that, we are chasing for the false hope one after another. When one thing fails what we think, oh, that's okay. We are being more optimistic than spiritualistic, right? So we wanted to achieve something and we haven't achieved it. Our parents or our loved ones say, don't worry, you'll get it next time. Then you try again. And that keeps going. That's false hope, right? It's okay. We don't have a choice. We need to keep trying. That's true. At the same time, we need to truly try the spiritual matters, the spiritual path, right? So in Shastra, in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto Yamaraj telling this to the Yamabuddhas about 12 Mahajans who we should be associating with. We should choose the people, or we should have a role model, right? So that we can follow in their footsteps. So, like, whoever chants Krishna's name, they are devotees. So we can follow in their footsteps. But Shastra say they've selected few people because they have exhibited those behavior, how to lead a bhakti life, bhakti marg, being in where you are, like being a householder. It doesn't need to be you need to go to the forest and go to a secluded place and do yoga, Ashtanga yoga, Dhyana yoga, or whatever, even Bhakti yoga. You don't have to do it. Wherever you are right now, whether you are at your home or you are, you're going to university or you're married woman, whoever you are, you can do Bhakti. That's how easy and simple it is. And what is the benefit of association of devotees? In Chaitanya Charitamrita it says Sadha Sanga Sarva Shastra Aya Lava Matra Sadha Sanga Sarva Siddhi Aya. So even Lava Matra, even very microsecond, even if you cut that, microsecond into even micro like that, like 1 by 10,000, I think, or 100. So that second, even if you associate with a devotee, if you're a devotee, what happens is Sarva Siddhi Hai. So you will get everything you need, the knowledge you get. And you don't have to learn Shastras if you just associate with the devotees. That's the power of pure devotee association. Right. So coming back to this poem, Mahajan, anyone knows who are they? Want to try? It says in Bhagavad Gita, I think, yeah. Yes, Prahlad Maharaj, Bhishma, Janak Maharaj, very good. Narad Muni, Yamaraj, yes. Yamaraj is the one speaking this verse. Swayambho Narad Sambho Kumaro Kapilo Manu Pralado Kapilo, I'm sorry, Pralado Bhishma Bali. So we have Swayambhu, like Lord Brahma. Then who is it? Narada. And then Sambhu, Lord Shiva. Tomorrow is Shivaratri, right? We'll cover something about Shiva. I'm so much, I love with Shiva. So he was the one who led me to the Bhakti path. So I love him so much about how he's so compassionate and has to come to the leader. So, and then we have Kumara, 4 Kumaras. You know Kumara Sampradaya? Acharya is the follower of Kumara Sampradaya. And then Kapila Muni. So there are 2 Kapilas. One we don't follow. The other one we follow is Kalam Muni and Devotee child, who is in incarnation of Krishna, Kapila Muni. And third is the knowledge to another Devotee. And then Prahlad Maharaj, we all know about the Prahlad. And then Prahlad Janaka Maharaj. Janaka is father, Sita's father. And then Bhishma. Bhishma Devi is another character as well, who's brahmachari. And out of these 12, 7 of them are householders, meaning the majority is householders. So we can do it as well because most of us are householders. And what happens is when we follow this, Vinyani Mo, because they know the truth, they have realized it. Jnana means knowledge, theoretical knowledge. Vinyana means practical. They realized it. Dwadasita Vinyani Mo, Dharmam Bhagavatam, Dharmam Bhagavatam Bataha. We need to follow the Bhagavata Dharma, right? So Sanatana Dharma, the Bhagavata Dharma we need to follow. So which is very much Guhyam, confidential, Vishuddham, transcendental, Gurubodhan, very hard to understand. If you go tell someone Bhagavad Gita, they can't understand like that unless they have that much purity. But if they are again associate with Sadhu Sanga, Sarva Shastra, Kaya, then they will get all the Sastrical knowledge they need to know. They will get it within the fraction of a second just by associating with devotees. Okay, so what was the other one? Yeah, this is confidential, transcendental, and this is very hard to understand. Yam Nath Vatmartam Ashnute. But once we have the association, or just by following the footsteps of these Mahajans, what happens is we will attain liberation. We go back to Godhead just immediately. So we need to have the developed faith. So when we have that faith in Sastra or the Sadhu Sangha, automatically what happens? You will get the knowledge, transcendental knowledge. So Krishna knows when to reveal the knowledge, transcendental knowledge to us. All we need is just a desire. Once we have developed the desire, we will have to make so little endeavor. Here, one of the members here, Bala Prabhu, he travels like 600 kilometers, Prabhu, to come to the temple.
Not just for temple.
Yeah, yeah. But you're coming here, you're making your way here, so it's great, right? This is inspiring. It's his humility, he accepts that he also goes to see his friends, which is fair enough. You only come here where you stay for the time because you're traveling 600 kilometers, right? So this is great inspiration. This is what we need to learn from each other. Certainly, we need to follow the footsteps of those 12 Mahajans. But at the same time, we look around, we see and learn from each other within our temple community also. You don't have to go into the disasters, etc. Now, so we have any question? Oh, thanks. So with this 12 Mahajans, it's interesting as well. Like we have this Kaka Jana and Hamsa Jana. You know, Kaka Jana means who's crow-like people, and Hamsa Jana is swan-like people. Have you come across any swan-like people in your life? Raise your hand if you haven't. Good. It's good that you have seen good people in your life. And please raise your hand if you've seen Kakajana, like crow-like people who go to filthy, you know what crow does, go to filthy place, pick up the filthy things. Yeah, we all have. And, you know, sometimes we might think, well, I find faults as well. So I'm not qualified to say someone is a fault finder when I myself do that. But that's okay. But in our day-to-day life or in our jobs, we see people, not always, but sometimes, unfortunately, whatever reason, maybe they had a bad day, for example, they have a bad life or whatever it is, they exhibit those bad qualities, which is not attractive, right? We want to stay away from such people. Intoxication, it's not intoxication, it's a toxic, we say toxic environment, right? So I'm going to ask you the examples that you know of good and bad people from Shastras. So can you give me one example of good father from Shastra, from Purana? Jai, yes. Rishabhadev, yes, yes. And bad father. Hiranyakashipu, yes, yes. That's very popular. Bad, unfortunate father. And okay, bad mother. I mean, usually mothers are good at it. Generally speaking, I'm a mother. If you ask Vallabha, maybe he can give me an example. Vallabha is my son, 8 years. I hope not. He would give me as an example. But bad mother, can anyone think of bad mother example? Yeah, Suruchi. Suruchi, yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. Dhruva Maharaj's mother, I mean, Sati, like a stepmother. Yeah. What about Kage? Yeah. But actually, she was a good mother to Bharat Maharaj. She was bad auntie, maybe, you know, stepmother. What about bad sister? Bad sister. Sorry? Huh? Shurpanaga? Yeah, bad sister. I think that's a good try. I think she was bad sister, but wasn't bad for for the brother. She was good to the brother, so she was bad to others, right? Yeah. That sister. Yeah, I thought about it. Yeah, we'll come back. I remember. I know that. And bad brother. Yeah, Duryodhan, bad brother comes. Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%. That's a good example. Yeah. And what about good sister? Who?
Brother, you mean
Radha.
brother?
Good.
Brother and now
Yeah, good brother. Huh? Yeah. Lakshman, good brother. Yeah. Good sister. So sorry. Urmila. Okay. Do you want to talk about that? Ladram's wife. Sita. Oh yes. And she was a good sister. Like a yeah, that's right. Yeah. Didn't know that. So what Urmila did was allowing Lakshman to go with take care of Ram and Sita, and then I like the idea of she gets to sleep for all day and night. I would love that actually personally. I wouldn't mind my husband going to the forest and being with to cover his. What about goods and bad things? Did we cover that? No, not yet, right? Goods and bad things. Duryodhana, absolutely 100%. You know what? Before he was born, so many omens, bad omens, right? And then the priest suggested you shouldn't deliver this baby, but Yashir has to put the lump flesh into the pot, 100 pots, divided into 100 pots, they get 100 children. Because she had a bone to get 100 children. So that was the case. But before the child was about to be born, there was indication that it's not going to be auspicious. So there were so many indications in that omens. Dhritarashtra and what was the name? I forgot. Dhritarashtra and Gandhari, right? Gandhari were suggested, please don't have his children at all, especially the first one, the first part, rape him. But how can they do it? Because it's a child and they wanted it. And then they go and we have Mahabharata. So yeah. So good son, did we cover good son? Ram is very good son, yes. He didn't even question, right? If someone asked, like my father asked me to go and buy milk from the shop, I would ask him the question, why not my sister? Why me? Or to speak of going to the forest for 40 years. I wouldn't do that. So yeah, so that was a good example of being a good son. Because she was exhibiting being a good father, good son. I mean, good father itself, later they came to his life, but initially not. But at least at the beginning, he exhibited being a good father, good husband, you know. I mean, not good father, good son, good husband, so on so, and a good brother, of course. So, what about aunt? Good aunt, bad aunt, auntie, good aunt. I know one. I can give you a clue. She prayed to Krishna to give more trouble. Yeah. She had troubles. And always Krishna was with the family Pandavas, right? So Kunti Maharani being a single mother, can you imagine? No centering, right? No family allowance or childcare or extra money from government. She was managing everything on her own. And being in the palace is not a great idea either because the Rashtra's family always trying to find a way to kill the Pandavas. So that's how scary it would be. Can you imagine? Living in a house, you need to make sure what you're eating, whether there's poison in the food. and there is something gonna happen to you, someone gonna come and kidnap you or something and beat us to death. So living your life with full of fear of death for yourself and loved ones, is it a cool experience? No. Kausalya for good ends. Yeah, Kausalya. As in, well, she's a stepmother, right? To Bharat and Laxmi. Yeah, like Laxmi also. Yeah, so bad ends. Someone already told, I think. Kaikeyi, the stepmother. Bad auntie. Putana, oh, come on. She's not auntie. Demons. Auntie just. Gandhari was a bad, and in one sense, for Krishna, she cursed, right? She cursed. Not knowing Supreme Lord Krishna, she cursed. Yeah, that's a good one. And did we cover daughter? Good daughter, bad daughter? Come on, you can tell. We'll start with bad one. Daughter, yeah. Bad daughter. You are a good daughter to your mom? Yeah. Maybe if a good daughter, I can give your example. Yeah? So bad daughter, I thought about it. I was doing this analysis, right? It's very hard to find good daughter. Oh, sorry, bad daughter. Because Bhagavatam doesn't talk about bad woman as such, like bad mother example or bad daughter example, bad sister. It's very hard to identify. Even we have heard so many stories, case studies from Shastras. I'm trying to, but my mind was going around in circling Mahabharata only. I'm trying to identify. Even Ramayana was there, but I don't know many characters other than the generic popular characters, so it was very hard. But then I thought about one character being a bad daughter, Samishta Devyani, Sukracharya's daughter Devyani. You know how, so the story, the background story is like Yayati. The Maharaj name is Yayati, yeah, and the king, he was going past this pond, and Devyani is the daughter of Sukracharya and her close girlfriend, Samrishti, I think, Samrishta. They both were taking bath in the pond, lake, whatever it is, and with all other girlfriends, hundreds of them. And that time, Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati were passing by. That time they felt ashamed, so they had to cover their body. Sarmishra accidentally took the cloth of Devyani, that mistake she made. So being a bad daughter, why? Because she went to the father and complained about it, so he had to curse and so many things happened after that. So that's why I thought maybe she's not a good daughter. It's girl thing. Oh, why not share? That's okay. But anyway, she had that problem, and then it became very bad after that also. So that's bad daughter. And good daughter, we have one here. Anything else from Shastras? Sita Devi is a good mother. I mean, yeah, good mother and also a good daughter. Yeah. And Draupadi is a good daughter. So many times, Prabhupada insulted Draupadi in so many ways. But she's, in a sense, she was okay with it. Like she cried, but she was okay with it. She didn't take it very personally, in a sense, to make the things worse or situation worse. Okay, so we covered everything. Good daughter, son, father, everything, right? Son, we covered? No, I don't think so. Did we? Yeah, we did. Yeah. So yeah, that's the thing. So we should identify good and bad things. We should know how to discriminate good and bad things. It's very important. Shastras teach